With ease and grace. Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 9. Now, we've been doing this for 9 weeks already. I can't even believe it.
It doesn't even feel like it.
No, I know. It's like, I freaking love Tuesdays so much. It's like unreal. So, welcome. Thank you for hanging out with us. As always, we appreciate you so much. And whether you're watching here on the live or you're catching a replay, we know things get busy. And also, personally, although I like the live energy, I like watching on the replay because then you can kind of pause and gather your thoughts or write something down or whatever. So I get it no matter what. But whether you're watching live or replay, we would love it if you would say hi. We love to engage with our viewers and we would love to respond to any questions you have too. So throughout this session today, if you do have any questions that come up as we're discussing, feel free to drop them in the comments. We'll see how technology works for us, but I should be able to see them and even put the question on the screen so we can both respond to you. We would love to help guide you in that personal way if you feel called to. So today we are talking about something that will probably continue to come up, as we up level, as you up level. It's happened to me before. It'll happen to me again. It's happened to Teresa before. It'll happen to Teresa again. And this is really, the all-encompassing topic is embodiment. But what brought this up today is because Teresa and I were talking about how it's like, and you guys tell me if this resonates with you. Part of you can get on board with the fact that your ideal reality is out there. It is meant for you. You will have it at some point, like whether it's money in the bank or it's 11:11. Whether it's money in the bank, whether it's a relationship, a house, a Maserati, all of the above, like whatever it is, right? You believe that at some point you can get on board with the fact that, yes, I think that desired reality is meant for me at some point. I can see that happening. But for whatever reason, it continues to be in the future, out there somewhere at arm's length, and it never feels like it's like happening now. It doesn't feel like today could be the day. It doesn't feel like tomorrow could be the day, right? Like it's still a ways off. And so what ends up happening in this state, which is what perpetuates the state, is that we continue to notice and affirm that we are still not there, that it is still further away, right? Something that I think I've even said during one of these episodes, but maybe not, regardless, I'll repeat myself because I like to do that, is, as Teresa does, is I found myself last year, most of the year, I was saying to my high level clients specifically, they will attest to this, that I would say, my business is not where I want it to be. My business is not where I want it to be. It's happening, I can see it happening in this timeline or with this offer or with this thing or when I'm here or blah, 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 but it's not where I want it to be. And then I realized just like last week, I was like, well, no, it wasn't even last week. It was like actually several months ago now, but I was reminded of the epiphany last week. But a few months ago, I was like, well, my business can never be anything but not where I want it to be if I continue to affirm that it's not where I want it to be, right? So I had to start figuring out, okay, who do I have to be to feel like it's happening now, to feel like my business is taking off now, my business is where I want it to be. Like, how do I have to show up differently? Because obviously it is not going to happen that like a bunch of money and clients just pour in. Okay, now my business is where I want it to be. Like, no, it's an energetics thing. You have to be the version of you that you want to be and believe that it's coming and it's happening and it's unfolding right now before it can actually do that, right? Like Teresa and I have been talking for 9 episodes now.
You're like literally making me have the epiphany right now because I haven't realized that I've been saying that. I'm not where I want to be yet. I'm like, hold on, guys. Wait right here. Wait, watch where I'm going to be 6 months from now, a year from now. Like, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow my own mind. And as you're saying this right now, I'm like, holy shit, this is what I've been saying. I'm not yet where I want to be. Because in the 3D physical reality,
right,
it's literally not. But the more that I'm repeating this, the more that I'm saying this, my subconscious mind just keeps showing me more proof of it.
Yeah.
And literally that is what's been happening. Oh, you're not where you want to be yet? Okay, yeah, you're absolutely right, Teresa. This is your belief system. Let me give you more situations, occurrences that are proving you right, because that's its job. Whatever we believe to be true, its job is to give us more of that. So right now I'm just like, oh, fuck. I'm saying this on repeat. I've been saying it with a smile on my face. I'm happy. Yeah. Like, I'm not where I want to be yet, guys, but things are fucking amazing. I can't be saying that. My gosh, we have to be so conscious of what we are saying. And didn't even have that realization until you're saying it right now. Like, yeah, I keep doing that. And then I'm like, why the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it not coming in a lot faster? Well, because it's giving me more proof of what I'm speaking into existence.
Exactly. So this is where, like, Teresa and I are talking about, you have to be a little bit delusional because like, let's step back a second. What Teresa is saying she's doing and what I was doing last year is being realistic. Like right now, I'm not where I wanted to be. I want to be making 10 grand a month. I'm not making 10 grand a month. So I'm not where I want it. I'm not where I want to be. I know it will happen. I know it will unfold, but I'm not there yet. So on the surface, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Especially with, like Teresa's saying, with a smile, like, I'm not where I want to be yet, but you guys, like, it's happening. I know that it's going to unfold. It's going to be great. I'm going to be able to do X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. So like, you're halfway there, and I was saying the same thing. Like, my business isn't where I want it to be, but X, Y, Z, da, 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 da. Yeah. Okay, fine. But the problem is the first part of that statement is, my business is not where I wanted to be. My life is not where I wanted to be. I'm not living here. I'm not doing this. My bank account says X, Y, and whatever, right? You have to be delusional and you have to start affirming what you actually want to be true. So this is how I've only successfully done this one time so far in the recent past. So like in January and February were like I'm going to use myself as an experiment. Partly because I think it'll be fun, and partly because when this works out the way I want it to, it's going to be a really good fucking story. So, and that's how I try to manifest everything now, is I'm just like, okay, no, what would make this like the best story ever? And it's funny because something I'm manifesting right now, I'm working on right now, is I'm literally asking the universe to make it come in the most miraculous way, right on the heels of this thing that I want to do, so that the story is that much more magical and I can tie it all into anyway. So whatever, there's more coming on that later. But so I was like, okay, I started to affirm my business is where I want it to be. I am making 5 figures a month. I am working within my set boundaries and it's enough. The work I'm doing is enough, because old me, this is the other flip side of this is, and you guys could let me know if this resonates with you. Teresa, I know we're on the same page here, is we're stuck in a mindset that for things to get better, we have to do more things, be busier, right? So if I'm not busy, I'm not doing enough, and therefore I can't expect anything to change, right? And I thought, well, okay, I don't want to be working 50, 60 hours a week though. Like ideally, I want to be doing whatever the fuck I want the majority of the time. Like I do love what I do. Like I do want to say, when I don't even think it's fair to call it work, because what I'm doing, I don't consider working. Like my son will say, we have to work. And I'm like, I don't like calling it that because I don't feel like that's what it is. But yes, I need to be on my computer several times a week for, certain calls and things, and like at podcast episodes like this and whatever. But old me was very like masculine energy, do. If I'm not at my computer, I'm not getting anything done. I'm not earning being wealthy, basically. But that didn't get me anywhere. And I burnt out, and I got an ultimatum from my husband, and like it just didn't work out, right? It wasn't good. So then I was like, okay, well, let's just play with this. If everything is always working out for me, and I do believe that I can have any reality I want to work Monday to Thursday, 9 to 2, sometimes less. I want to be on minimal calls. I don't want to have random people trying to, take advantage of my boundaries. I want to set good boundaries for myself. I want to be able to spend 2 hours in the bathtub if I want without anybody bothering me. Like, this is all the things in my reality. I want 5 figures coming in every single month, but I also want people finding my link and purchasing things without me having to do anything. Like, it doesn't have to be a link that I posted today. It can be like manifesting, resurrecting old videos. Like, why do I have to create more things? Why can't the work that I've already done do work for me now? Because like, I've been creating good content for like 5 years now, right? So I'm sitting here thinking I have to create more. And it's like, wait a minute, there's like hundreds of hours of stuff out there that people can binge if they really want to. Like, and then sure enough, the other day in my Facebook group, somehow 2 videos from 2019 got resurrected in the feed. I'm like, this is amazing, it's happening. And so, but I got delusional. I started saying, okay, no, the hours that I'm working are enough. Between the podcast episode and the coaching calls I'm doing every week, it's enough. It's enough. I'm showing up enough. It's enough. It maybe won't be this like gigantic quantum leap into like millions of dollars, but it is going to be a gradual, regulated nervous system.
It will be
graceful.
A giant quantum leap into millions of dollars, right?
Well, the funny thing is,
yes.
The funny thing about it is when you, at least it's been my experience, when I stop trying to glamorize the quantum leap and just let it unfold as it needs to, it ends up being a quantum leap. Mm-hmm. Like, you look back and you're like, oh my God, that actually happened so fast. And I was totally prepared for it to take, like, I was prepared to be patient, and it still unfolded faster than I want. Like 6 months ago, I started manifesting coming home when my parents-in-law didn't want us here. My husband didn't want to come home. Dominic's school was full. I thought it was going to take us over a year to be able to get everybody on board and convince and, lay my little, sprinkling breadcrumbs here and there and try. And here I am already. I'm already at home. I've got my office basically set up. My son is back in his school. I've already hit my 5-figure month goal. My relationship with my parents-in-law is like better than it's been ever. Like, that is a quantum leap. And I didn't mean to do that. I was just willing to be patient, and I was willing to let the universe unfold it for me in the way that was best for everybody involved. And I ended up getting a quantum leap. I think that there's too many people out there glamorizing and making it seem like if you don't want a quantum leap, you don't want it bad enough, when that's not. Like, I want to do it easy and gracefully and with a regulated nervous system. I want it to feel good the whole time.
It's crazy how you look back at all of the things that we've learned, all the classes that we go in. I don't know if you remember that master class that we were in specifically on quantum leaps. She had me terrified for a second, because she was like, be prepared. You quantum leap, you're skipping all the in between. You're skipping all the molding, all the growing. You're going to get to this space and you're going to be clueless. You're going to be lost. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be hard. So make sure that you want this quantum leap. And I'm like,
I don't want it.
I don't want it. That's not what I anticipated, but that was her own belief system being projected onto us. That could have been very well her experience. She, in her mind, skipped all these things. It was hard for her. If we held on to that, which I did too. It totally deterred me from it. And I know that's what you're talking about right now.
Yes.
Because I remember that we were like, what the fuck? No, I don't want it to be hard. Wait, what's going on? But it doesn't have to be.
No.
Now, I have this new mentor, right? Who, she's never put an ad out. She's never announced anything. She said, like, she just kept repeating that all of her people that are meant for her found her by the hundreds every single day, by word of mouth, by social media. All of her videos were going viral. She's making millions and doesn't even have a team behind her. She's doing everything herself. Yeah. Literally, because she doesn't believe that she needs all of those things. She doesn't believe that she has to be, putting out 20, 30 ads a week in order to get people to come in. She said it. She literally said it, forget it, believed it's all coming to her. She's magnetizing everything to her. She doesn't have to work extra hard. She speaks about, how many people from the corporate world used to tell her, like, that's just impossible. You have to do X, Y, and Z. She's like, no, I don't want that for my reality. I'm not going to accept that. This is how I want it. She wants to make passive income. How you're saying right now. Yeah. I don't want to work extra hard either. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some days I feel like things are not moving fast enough. And then I go back and I think about it. I kept saying, I don't want to have to go to a 9-to-5 job every day. I want to be able to get up and, go outside, look at the sky, hear the birds chirping as I'm drinking my coffee, writing out my manifestations. That's exactly what I'm living right now.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. When you stop for a second and take a look around you, I'm like, oh my gosh, things are moving. Yeah. It is moving forward exactly how I've been speaking these things. But we feel like it's not moving fast enough sometimes. And that's where we start getting caught up. Maybe I'm not doing this right. Maybe I'm not doing that right. Maybe I need to switch this up. No, it's just like we have to keep persisting in these stories that we believe until they show up.
Yeah, we do. And I think part of it is like, as your particular mentor that you're speaking about, I love her too. Huge, amazing, huge fan. She is fantastic. But even her like quick success stories, I think do kind of like rub up against me, even because I'm like, well, but she did it so much faster than me. I'm not doing it fast enough. It's not as impressive as it could be. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And then, so that's one of the reasons why I've kind of realized that we need to just mute all of the things. You know what I mean? Like, get what you need and then mute it all. And then implement that instead, because everybody has conflicting things they want to say too. And then you'll listen to this mentor you like, and then you'll listen to this mentor you like, and then they're saying kind of opposite things. And now you're like, well, I don't know. When ultimately any of it is true. Like, whatever you choose to believe is true for you is what's true for you. But it's so easy, especially with social media. Social media is designed for us to compare and contrast each other, right? Like, that's what keeps you on the platform, is inspiration, but also comparison. And the minute you jump to comparison is like, it's detrimental.
You become a deer in headlights. You literally get stuck exactly where you are. And I'm speaking from experience, because I'm new to TikTok. I had all of this shit. Like, I'm going to run full force ahead and, knock all these things out. And then stuff started popping up on my phone. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. And then it was just like one thing after another. And then I got lost in that energy and started comparing myself. And that's what we're not supposed to do.
Yeah. That's the wrong way.
And it can easily happen. Just like you're saying, what was, and we got to go back to the basics. Was that thing that we would say, I set my ego, my critical mind to the side. I take what's for me and I leave the fucking rest behind. Like, that is some serious shit that we should be saying before we indulge on anybody's information.
Yeah. Period.
Watching any videos. And see, like, for me with that mentor, the only thing that I'm taking from her, like, I'm not going to lie. In the beginning, I was like, okay, she did this shit in 60 days, 90 days, making $20,000 a month. I started putting that on myself. Like, why isn't it happening? How come it's not going that fast? Where's the 20,000? That's not what I was meant to be doing. It was just to show proof to my subconscious mind that that's possible, because the more proof that we show it of the things that we want and how they can happen in this shortened amount of time, people are actually fucking doing it. They are getting the things that they want. They are getting the people that they want, manifesting their specific person, manifesting these checks out of nowhere. The more we show the subconscious mind that this is actually a possibility, the easier it makes it for us to receive these things. Yeah. So let's be more conscious of this very thing, not to compare yourself to the person, because we can easily do that, but just to take on the proof that what they have, we can have too, because they're just a fucking regular person, just like us.
Yes, exactly.
That's what it's supposed to be about.
Exactly. And something that I've noticed since I shifted my perspective over the last few years, like, something I've noticed is, as I'm manifesting, like, let's say an income goal, all of a sudden the people around me or people I stumble upon on social media, now they're celebrating this almost exact financial milestone. And at first you're like, oh, well, that's not very good. But then you start to realize, okay, wait, no, this is like continual proof that it is trying to get to me too. Like I say, you're already living your ideal reality, but only to the degree that you're allowing it in. And sometimes the degree you're allowing it in is to the girl over there, because you believe that she can have it, but you don't believe yet that you can have it. But also, I want to interject something here too, because I was thinking the other day, like, I was having a shower epiphany, as I do, as we do. And I was thinking about how, okay, like things are going to take off here. Like at this point, I can't stop it even if I wanted to, right? Like it's, if I just keep going in the direction I'm going and keep doing what I'm doing, keep showing up and keep allowing it to be enough, like it can't not, like that's what I'm manifesting. It can't not. And then I thought, okay, am I ready though? Like, for example, am I confident and proud of, say, the automated funnels I have in place? Like, am I actually proud of it? Or did I just slap it together to get it finished because I wanted to get it out there and grow my email list? Like, am I proud of it? And I thought, no, you know what? Well, at first I caught myself thinking, no, I got to go back and fix it. And then I thought, no.
I want to say that is the ego trying to be safe.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's like, oh no, maybe that's not good enough. And then if you go fail, then you're just going to fall apart. And my job is to keep you safe right where you are.
Yeah.
You know, and we have to override this system. And then there we go. Our reticular activating system kicks in. Like, here's 1 million reasons why X, Y, and Z is not going to happen for you. And we could easily get stuck there. Like, it's just trying to keep us safe.
Yeah.
That's it. Because it's completely opposite of what we know as the truth. You got to fucking put something out there, period. Hey, you know what I had was absolutely amazing for where I was. Now, where can I improve this? Not, is it good enough?
Yes.
You know, it's not good enough. It's not, you better not do this. Nope. It's unsafe if you go out there.
Yeah.
Stay right here.
Yeah.
And that's
exactly.
what it's trying to do, is keep us safe at all times.
Yeah. Well, and absolutely. And I, at this point, I am grateful enough to have recognized it. And I go, no, you know what? No, I put the one I was thinking about specifically. I put out a free magnetic manifesting subliminal. It's like a 14-minute version of the longer version. Right. And I put this email sequence together to, you know, nurture the new people to my list and, you know, make sure that they feel welcomed and that we have like a good vibe check situation so that they can unsubscribe if it's not for them and stay if it is. Right. And I thought, no, you know what? I put that together with the intention that I would do it well. And I would only do it the one time. Yeah.
It's literally brilliant. Like,
yeah. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to. So it's just funny how our minds try to get in there and go, but wait, are you actually ready? You know, could you handle it? And then I thought, well, okay, on the flip side, I don't want to all of a sudden have like 5 people sign up for my inner circle, because that would be a lot of onboarding and a lot of extra calls and stuff right out of the gate that I don't, you know, but that's clarity, right? I desire to have more, like Teresa saying, passive, free income. Like Teresa and I both, I think I can speak to her too, would like to manifest a reality where we are out having coffee and we pick up our phone and we've got 3 unexpected payment notifications. And then we go to the grocery store and then we check our phone when we get back and we've got 4 more payment notifications.
I keep saying I make money in my sleep. Baby.
Yeah, I made money in my sleep last night. I woke up. This is something I've been manifesting, is that my old content be enough and get resurrected somehow, because the thing is too, we have to remember, I forget this all the time. Just because I'm where I'm at now and I'm creating from the point I'm creating now doesn't mean that where I created from 4 years ago is not exactly what somebody needs right now where they are, right? Like time doesn't actually exist. So anyway, so I've been manifesting that old content to come up. I've been manifesting that people are, you know, sharing my stuff and tagging me and, you know, like word of mouth, basically, like, you know, and that I make money in my sleep, and that every time I check my phone, I've got payment notifications and things like that. So some of that's been happening. And last night I woke up in the middle of the night to check what time it was, and I noticed I had 2 payment notifications, and I was like, yes, this is awesome. For work I had already done, for a link I hadn't sent specifically to this person. So I'm also because I also think, because of the business coaching we've taken and the trainings, and people all have their fucking 2 cents to say, right, about what it takes to be successful, is that, you know, we need to be constantly like in our DMs. Like I had one business coach, literally, she was like, you need to be in your DMs constantly, in the car, here, there. And I was just like, I was doing it. And then I was like, but I'm literally on my phone any second. I'm not like in the shower. This is crazy. Like this is dead. Like I don't want to, you remember, I was like, I don't want to live like this. This is nuts.
I would be like, don't talk to me. Nobody talk to me for the next hour. If you disrupt me, I have to start all over again. Like I was literally glued to the couch and a paper and a pen. And just like, there was no moments that my mind actually got to relax and focus on anything that was in front of me. Right. It was just like, do this thing, do the next thing, do this one, da, da, da. I kind of get the gist of it now, was to keep our mind and our thoughts so focused only on what we were desiring. But shit, man, it makes you obsessive. It makes you crazy. You can't think. It's like you're crazy with your family or anybody who wants to talk to you. Like you end up secluding yourself.
I think ultimately the problem with that attempt, and of course we were learning from somebody who only was so far along in their journey too, right? So like I get it. And it was still what we needed at that time. But now looking back, it's like, okay, whoa, this is like mental, because there was no nervous system regulation at all. None.
I remember, not to cut you off, but I think this is funny because when you were like, I'm not doing that no more. And that doesn't work for me. And you don't need to do this. And I was like, no, what is she doing? What is she doing? She's going to lose everything we've been doing. Like, how do I tell her not to let this go? But you were actually on the right path. Like, we didn't fucking need it. But, I was just like, no, you're going to.
But we don't know. But we didn't know, right? Like and I still catch myself thinking things that we were taught from her because we looked up to her. She was my first mentor that wasn't like school related. Like this is my first like personal development like mentor, right? So it was like a big deal to me. And it was a serious investment. I had to borrow the money from my parents, the whole thing. Like it was a whole thing. And so
let me just say one thing really quick. And this is for people who are, looking for coaching in the future. Really, really make sure that this person has really worked on themselves a lot. Because when I look back and the things that you experienced with her, like her self-concept and her belief in herself wasn't even there.
No,
she was not healed whatsoever. And that was being projected into the work. But because it was new for us, we couldn't see that.
Right.
All her limiting beliefs, all of her fears, everything. I mean, what transpired with you says 100% that this woman was not fucking healed at all. And she's out here teaching people and projecting all of her limiting beliefs onto everyone that she's teaching, so it's very important. Like, please do your research, ask questions to whoever is, you're choosing as your coach, and make sure that they've done enough healing to be able to lead you in the right direction.
Yeah. And not just manifested some money and a house, because I'm telling you, like, because that's what got me. Because I was like, well, I want those things, so I'm going to learn from her. But Matt, I'm telling you, that first message, when she first was like accusing me of copying her, I was like, I read the message. I was like upset. And then I was like, oh my God, she's threatened by me.
Yeah.
By me. And at the time I was like, little old me, she's threatened by me. This is mental right now. And anyway, just totally crazy.
Yeah.
So
somebody who is a true coach and leader and is healed knows that you can never be me. I don't give a shit if you copied everything that I had word for word. It doesn't matter. There's how many people in this world. The people that are meant for you are meant for you. The people that are meant for me are meant for me. We will attract in our own people according to what energy we're giving off, according to our mindset, and what is meant for us. Nobody can take what's meant for you.
Yeah. There's no
But if you're
energy.
unhealed, you see other women as a threat. And for me, if you're learning from me and you start doing the stuff that I'm doing, I'll be like, fuck yeah, high five.
Let's do it. Yeah.
She's getting it. Like, she gets it. Let's go, girl. Like, come on, where we're headed.
The purpose for you and me, the purpose of what we're doing is to have other people doing it too. Like, let's make the world a better place. Right. And that's what anyway. Yeah, no. So you have to pick somebody who's healed, but it's funny because all of what we were initially being taught was like, there was no nervous system regulation. There was no, and I don't even really remember there being anything about like, actually, maybe this is where I was at the time, but I don't remember there being any like actual like implementation, like embodiment. It was more just like, write this down, follow this step, meditate to this, listen to this, and then spend money you don't have.
And it was more, desire focused rather than self-concept, becoming that woman, like you're saying, and embodying that energy of that woman that has the things. And that's actually what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Embodying that, not just the desires.
And for me, like one of the things that I realized, and that moving to Nicaragua really gave me, was the freedom to just want to manifest simple peace and freedom. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I want fancy things. I want sparkly things. I want fancy, like, I'm not saying I don't want those things. I definitely do.
It's coming.
Yeah. Like, but at the same time, none of that is going to mean anything if I'm not at peace and I don't feel free to be able to, like, I don't want to be able to buy a Rolls Royce and then be stressed out about money because I spent all my money on my Rolls Royce. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's dumb. I don't want to do that. I think a lot of people are out to make a ton of money, but then they spend it to show you how much they have. And it's like, but that's dumb. I want to build my financial house instead. Like, I want to have, I think it would be so fucking sexy to have like hundreds of thousands of dollars in investments. Like, I have an investment portfolio. Look at my assets. Like, that would be like, what? You know what I mean? Like, I'm at the point now. I said in a previous live in my Facebook group, I was like, look, if I could afford to buy my own house right now, it would be an income property. I would not move. I'm very happy where I am in my basement suite. I love living here. It is fantastic. I'm not going anywhere. Like, I very much am at peace with what I have. But what we were told, what we were taught, especially from this unhealed mentor, was basically where you're at's not good enough and you need to want more. And it's funny though, because looking back, you would probably remember this, the very first class, the very first call, she starts by going off about the payments and making sure that you're on time with your payments, and she'll send you to collections and da-da-da-da-da. And I was just like, I remember even at the time being like, that's kind of a weird scarcity mindset way to kick off a program like this. Like, because it was like so many months payments. It was 12 months of payments. I don't think she had a pay in full option. I can't remember. I don't think so. I think it was only the monthly installments, whatever. I did the monthly installments anyway.
Yeah, me too.
And I just remember thinking that was like totally weird, a weird way to like, why would you put so much focus? Like, for like 25 minutes, she went on about payments and notifications and all this. And I was just like,
yeah. Now it has me even like, it makes me feel even, and this is something that I have to work through too, because I even feel weird asking for payment now. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I feel like, because I never want people to think that is the energy that I'm coming from. I'm not. But since this is my full-time occupation, you know, I still need to eat. I still need to take care of my family. And I've fucking put my mind through hell, and I've read 1 million books so that you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I'm saving you time.
Yeah.
You know, we're cutting through all the shit that I had to go through.
Yes. Well, but you know what,
though? Be here.
Because my receptivity issue is also in money. Like, I can receive miracles and all kinds of shit, but as soon as it comes to money, it's like, for some reason, it's like more difficult for me, which is true for a lot of people, because we have a lot of resistance around, especially if we were raised by parents who were like employees, you know, they have a very much like, if you're not in a stable job, which we all know is total bullshit by now, but if you don't end in a stable job that gives you whatever, like, it's whatever, it's too stressful, it's whatever. But what I continue to remind myself of is like, look, it only benefits literally everybody. The more money I make, the more everybody benefits, the better mood I'm in, right? Because I'm not stressed about bills and money and how am I going to make this and how am I going to hit my goal. And like, I've got enough. Okay, so I hit my goal in February. I'm on fucking top of the world. We're like, you want to go out for lunch? Let's go out for lunch. You want to get new, whatever? Let's do it. But I'm not, it's not crazy. I still want to keep it. I still want to honor the money that I have, and I still want to treat it well. But it's like, yeah, I'm going to buy a new desk for my office because I want to get off this folding table. Like, I deserve that. I'm going to spend money on that. I want to take my son out. I want to donate my time to the school because I'm not stressed about having to be at my computer. I can go spend the day at my son's school and not be stressed out about what's not getting done or what needs to get bumped or what needs to get moved or whatever. Or, you know, being able to tip extra at dinner, you know, or be able to give the homeless guy $20 because I don't need it. Or be able to, like the other day we ordered DoorDash, which is like same as Uber Eats or like Skip the Dishes or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was like $70 for pizza. Like that's a little bit ridiculous. But at the same time, I was like, you know what though? It's worth it to me that I don't have to cook and that I can enjoy this like amazing pizza. It gets like I'm practicing being supported by my resources, by my work. This is how my work supports me. My work is beneficial to you. Financial support is beneficial to me. The better Teresa and I are financially compensated, the better we can show up, the more fully we can express ourselves, the more we can show you what's possible for you by letting ourselves go first and practice. And like you said, we're figuring out what does and doesn't work. Faster, slower, feels better, doesn't feel as good. Like we have done all the things. We have, between the two of us, we have spent
all the things.
I don't know how much time and resources on all of the things. Okay. We have downloaded all of the PDFs. We have listened to all of the meditations. We have listened to all the different mentors. We have read all the books. We have gone to all the seminars. Like I am telling you, there is nothing that we have not done or tried. So we know that when we're coming to you with what works, which is focus on your belief system, focus on your self-concept, focus on being delusional and creating the reality you want instead of affirming what's happening. We know that that is the fastest and most efficient way, most peaceful way to get where you want to go, because as you're getting there, it doesn't feel bad. Right? Like it's good the whole time. And then it gets to the point where you are so at peace with who you are and what you're creating that as the things show up, it's just like icing on the cake because you're already so happy and content because your own concept of yourself and your life is so high and everything else is being reflected back to you. Like you guys, 6 months ago, no, not even. Well, November, December, January, February. Okay, so like 4.5 months ago, my husband and I, we're not in a good place. Okay, we were not in a good place at all. He literally is treating me like a queen now. Nothing has changed except for the way that I'm looking at him and myself. Everything else is the same. I'm also finding myself going out over and above for him, but it's because he's me pushed out. Not because I want in return. And that's going to make, some people are maybe going to take that the wrong way. I don't like, all I'm saying is I'm focusing on my self-concept. I feel good. Therefore, I want to do more good for the people that I love. I have noticed also, both of us are spending more focused time and energy on each other and on our son. So our son is benefiting more from us being more in our own high self-concept because we're spending less time scrolling on social media or doing whatever the fuck we were doing before and spending time with our son. So he's benefiting now from me working on my self-concept. That is the ripple effect of the work that we're doing.
Right. And that's the whole, everyone's us pushed out. So if your person in your life is not showing up how you want them to be, that means that somewhere we're not showing up for ourselves.
Yes. 100.
So, you start upping your self-care, loving on yourself more, taking yourself to dinner, taking yourself out, whatever it is. It's going to be reflected back to you from the people in your reality, just like it's happening to you right now. Yeah. We have to turn inwards. There's nothing outside of us. We cannot force anybody to change who they are or to treat us differently. It's all internal work. When we start loving ourselves more, respecting ourselves more, valuing ourselves more, everyone is us pushed out, and they're going to reflect that back to us. You can sit there and try to, beat them over the head. You're doing this to me and you're doing that to me. And how come you're not showing up like this? And I need you. La, 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 la. It's not going to fucking do anything. It's not until you turn inwards, change your beliefs, change how you're treating yourself, and then they'll reflect it back. And you don't even have to tell them. Yeah. It's going to happen by itself. Did you sit there telling your husband over and over? Hell to the no, because if you did, you would be in the same place you were 4 months ago. Then you would take it as you're attacking him, become defensive. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Yeah. You don't get anywhere trying to force outside circumstances to change. It doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work. This is where it comes in when people say, oh, people don't change. You're absolutely fucking right. But when you change inside, everything changes. This is how you get them to change. Yeah. Looking at your belief systems and where you're lacking, where you're not loving on yourself. And this is like a continuous thing.
Oh yeah.
Every time things show up that you don't like, turn inwards. Look at yourself again. Somewhere in yourself is causing this to show up. It has nothing to do with anybody outside of us, literally.
No, I call it taking radical responsibility. Like, the problem is, until you're willing to take responsibility, because the problem is people are looking around and going, okay, I understand what you're saying, but there's no way that I would have created this circumstance or this victim thing that happened to me or whatever. It's like, yeah, look, I realize you wouldn't do it on purpose. I wouldn't do it on purpose either. I wouldn't manifest anything that's happened to me on purpose. Obviously, right. Why would I choose that? If what? No, obviously I wouldn't do that. But now that you know better, you can do better. And so I'm very sorry to say, but everything going on around you, whether it's something traumatic or something just kind of annoying, whatever the degree is, I'm very sorry to say this, but you have to take responsibility for it. That is the only way to shift what's happening, is to take responsibility and look in and go, okay, where in me, or what parts of me, or however you want to word it, is aligned with this thing? Or where in my belief system do I think that this is what I deserve, or that this is how this is? I've been doing a lot of questioning too, actually. Like,
me too.
Even just dumb things, like the way that I put something together on the computer, or the way that I'm writing something out, or the way that we're doing whatever. Like, I have caught myself stopping and asking myself, do I actually, am I doing this?
Vettel says mind blowing.
Yeah. I love it. But am I doing this because this is how I want it to go, or what I want it to be? Or am I doing this because this is just the way that I've always done it, or somebody told me that this is how you do it? Like, just asking why a lot more. Like, but why?
Right. And I didn't even, okay. So we hear it many times, right? Once you come into an awakening, you're unlearning everything you've ever learned. Everything you've been learning has been false. Nothing has been even you. This is where you're finding yourself by doing exactly what you're saying right there. Like, we literally do have to question, where did I get this from? And it's crazy because I used to question these things as a kid. Why are we doing this? Yeah. Why are my parents doing this?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the point of this? I don't understand. So even as a kid, I was starting to see these things, because our soul knows, right? It's already trying to guide us from a long time ago, but I didn't realize the extent of what that meant until now. You literally are reprogramming everything within you. This is where you find your true self, your own identity, because your identity up to this point of doing this work has always been programming from your environment, from people, grandparents, parents, friends, teachers, everywhere that you experienced any kind of interaction with anyone.
Right.
All of your life.
Yeah. Anything. Yeah. It's kind of funny. We were having a conversation with Dominic's teacher, actually, about, we just had to kind of check in and see where he's at. Because of course I was homeschooling him for a while. And anyway, I did an okay job apparently. So I feel good about that. But anyway, so she was talking about how she actually has experience of relocating with her family and coming back mid-year and the whole thing. So she was like a great fit for Dominic. But she was saying, what you guys did is really cool, because most people don't take themselves out of their environment enough to look at it and question, like, why we do like, for example, the conversation was sparked because we've been kind of getting ridden about putting Dominic in some kind of organized sports, and he doesn't have any interest in playing sports, and I don't have any interest in forcing him. I think we talked about this last week. I have no interest in forcing him to do anything he doesn't want to do. Like, I mean, yeah, there's a fine line between like pushing him to try something new and like getting outside of his comfort zone and things like that. But like, whatever. So the conversation came up, and it's just like, I think a lot of people just feel like, sports, for example, feel that you have to put your kids in sports because that's what you do. And I'm like, I didn't play fucking sports when I was a kid, and I turned out just fine, And then the teacher was saying, she's like, it's kind of cool though, because you guys have had the opportunity to like literally remove yourself from the environment and then look back at it and go, yeah, that doesn't work for me. I don't want to do it that way.
Yeah. you know, I can speak from my experience. I did do all the sports. And we did talk about this last week.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was cool. I was the shit. I was number one at everything, but here I am, how many years later, on my own path, my own journey, still figuring shit out, where that didn't contribute to anything.
Right.
Because if it would have, I would have stayed, right, as the prize, kept myself on a pedestal because I was number one in sports.
Right.
So that was the point of
right.
my father putting me in that, so that I knew my potential, that I knew that I was a shit, that I can achieve and accomplish anything. But it didn't stay, because I still got pulled to my ultimate purpose.
Yeah.
That destroyed me completely and rebuilt me.
Right.
Obviously, it had to have had some kind of purpose, or else it wouldn't have been in my reality at all. But you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, totally.
I'm still deprogramming everything and relearning. How do I say this? Like, if anything, what it did was made me realize that we take our children's power from them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there was other things that I wanted to do. And he was like, no, you're not going to do that. This is what you're going to do. And I still ended up doing those fucking things afterwards. Now it just took me a lot longer to get on the path that I was supposed to be on.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking my parents. My dad did a fucking amazing job. Like, literally, I give him credit for that. But just being able to see a different perspective now and telling you these things from a parent who is on the fence of putting their kid in the sports and whatever your reasoning is.
Right.
Why not empower the kids from a young age? Why take their power from them? Let them say, hey, like, this does nothing for, I don't enjoy this. This is not my passion.
Well, exactly.
And listen to them, because they're speaking from the truth. So, okay, what is his passion? Because I do think that they should be involved in something.
Yeah.
Right?
Involvement is good. Yeah. I'm not.
But it's an opportunity for us to sit down and be like, okay, what does he enjoy? Let me encourage and grow what his passions are, not what mine are, or not what the outside world tells me should be done with my kid.
Exactly.
We're putting them ahead of the game by that.
Well, exactly. And I think so many people, like the conversation basically ended up being like, so many people are still just so plugged into their belief systems that have been passed down for, like, they're outdated by now, even. Like, it doesn't even, this doesn't even make sense anymore why we're still doing this. But it's because it's always been done that way that it continues to be done that way. Like, this is why this is kind of a side tangent example, but like, think about how companies, they'll have the same CEO, the same marketing guy, the same whatever, same market research development, blah, 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 for like years and years and years. And the company kind of plateaus, you know, and then finally they get rid of somebody and they bring in a new guy with a new vision, and the company takes off because they started they had been doing the same thing so many years. And then finally this guy comes in and was like, no, like, why are you doing it this way? This is goofy. Like, get with the times, man. And then they implement some changes, and then the company takes off. Like, that is
because we're what? We're the cycle, what?
Breakers,
baby. That's what the fuck we were born for. Like, we were meant to break these generational cycles. We were meant to question things. And even that too, when you have a child who's always questioning, it's like it drives me crazy when I hear parents like, I'm the fucking parent. That's why. But the kid's like, but I don't understand. Can you explain? No. I'm the fucking parent. I'm not going to explain to you.
Yeah, because I said so.
This is how it goes. When that child is like so fucking gifted, the fact that they're questioning things, they want to learn more, they want to know more. Can you give me an explanation? Like, that's your next generational curse breaker, cycle breaker, is that kid right there. And all you're doing is shutting them down over and over. Like, I cannot stand when I see that.
Well, I heard that tons, because I said so, because I said so, because I said so. And it's like, well, okay. but why though? Like, and it's not, and they're not even necessarily trying to like backtalk or anything. They just literally want, like, what, but why do we do it like this? Like, I just don't, I just don't understand. So we need more people questioning more things. And you can start doing it in your own life by just like literally everything you're doing. Like one thing that my husband does that makes me nuts. My dad does this too, actually, is you'll say, like, are you hungry? And they're like, well, what time is it? What the fuck difference does it make what time it is? I'm asking you if you're hungry. Like the time dictates if you're hungry or not, and then what meal. And then watch.
So
go ahead.
You know, in the Power of the Subconscious Mind, there's a scenario of this.
Oh, is there?
It's somebody like from the West. I don't quote me on it, but I don't remember exactly what it says, but it's like somebody from the West Coast went to visit the East Coast or whatever. And he asked what the time was, and they were like 12 o'clock. He's like, oh, I have to eat.
Oh yeah. I did read that one.
I eat at 12 o'clock, but it's like, bro, it's not really 12 o'clock for you because you're visiting the East Coast, but it was like, I have to eat. It's 12 o'clock. It has to get done. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. My dad
you're not really hungry because it's not really that time yet. Like,
well, and
it's already programmed in his mind.
And until you knew,
have to eat, period.
Yeah.
I'm sick. I got a headache. My body doesn't feel good because I missed that 12 o'clock mark. Like,
and it's like, you felt fine until you knew what time it was.
Exactly.
Right? Like, it's, and my dad too, my dad grew up very poor. And I think a lot of him still lives in that time frame. Like, and if you ask him questions about his dad, he gets very worked up. Like, his dad was not a good person, but he gets very worked up. Like, it's as if it's happening again. Like, I've seen it happen. And I was just like, whoa, this is like, you have some serious trauma you need to work through. But he has this thing, not only about the time, but then the amount of food. Like, it doesn't matter. He needs his dinner to be like substantial, he says. Because I think it takes him back to when he didn't have a lot of money and he like didn't have a choice. Because for me, like, there's nights where, I mean, I want a full on, like, I want salmon and potatoes and fucking, you know what I mean? And then some nights I want like a fried egg and a piece of toast because, like, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm just not hungry. Like, it just doesn't matter. And he's like, no. And then he also, something he cannot make because it's welfare food, he says, because he grew up literally on the welfare system. And so he will not eat anything that reminds him of being on welfare. It's like very hard for him. So it's just, and then it's funny to see what of that has dribbled into me, even though I never had any issues about there being enough food. I still eat really fast because I think when I was a kid, if you didn't eat fast, you were not going to get seconds if you wanted any. So you better eat it before dad does, you know, kind of situation. So it's just funny how that's
another opportunity for you to heal right there in that moment.
Totally, right?
Tell your body, tell your nervous system, it's okay. Good, huh? We're safe.
We're safe.
We got a lot of food in this house right now. We're good.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to take it from you.
Yeah. It's just so funny. Like, man, I started reading The Power of the Subconscious Mind too. And it is just like, man, I wish I had some kind of PhD so that this is a belief. But I was going to say, I wish I had some kind of PhD so people would really listen to like what we were saying about like the subconscious mind. And I was like, no, that's a belief. We can make our point without needing a PhD. I don't need to go to school for 18 years to get whatever. It's amazing. Yeah. The power of your subconscious mind, like literally whatever you give power to in your mind is what will manifest in your life. And that's why Teresa and I started this episode by saying, like, look, if you are continuously looking at what's going on, looking at yourself in the mirror, looking at your bank account and going, it's not XYZ yet, it can't be anything else because you're literally looking for proof that it is already there or it's not already there or whatever. Like, well, my workout didn't work. I'm still, you know, I'm still 20 pounds overweight. Well, okay, well, 20 pounds is not likely going to melt off your body in one day. Second of all, that would be, I mean, it could, you're going to get probably sick though. It's not going to feel very good. Right. Like, but you can still look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you're beautiful and that you're worthy of weighing whatever it is that you want to weigh and that your beauty is not dictated by what the scale says. You know, as somebody who has struggled with an eating disorder in high school, I don't even like to weigh myself at all. It makes me, I just don't like it. So I don't. I would rather measure how I feel about myself. If I'm going to measure it against anything, it's about how my pants fit and if I'm comfortable.
Vero commented, let me read it to you really quick. Or finish all the food because there's poor kids that don't have any.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think that's a very good thing that she brings up here because that's what we tend to do.
Yeah.
Even with our manifestations or believing that, you know, us being millionaires or making $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month, we start feeling like we shouldn't be thinking this way because there's other people that don't even have $20. And here we are being selfish, wanting all this money and wanting to be rich, and that's not okay to do. And then we start dimming our light, and we start knocking our desires that we want to bring in. Like, how would you say how, like, where we shouldn't compare that, especially because if somebody else is not having it, that we feel that we don't deserve, that we should have it.
Yeah, like it's not fair if we have more than they do. Yeah.
Which that's absolutely not the case at all.
No. Well, and you know what? Like, I literally was just living in a third world country, okay? To the point where, like, I'm not wearing them today, but I felt bad walking around wearing my diamond rings because I've got like over $10,000 on my hand, and you guys have a shack. Like, like my ring is worth more than your house. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, this is not, I can't do that. I also didn't want to get the gringo prices when they saw my jewelry. But anyway, but so, you know, like, I did face that. Like, who am I to, like, these guys have nothing, and I'm here trying to manifest $10,000 a month. These guys will never see $10,000 in their entire life.
Right. Now, here's where the perspective shift comes in. My brain was trying to process this. Without that money, you cannot help yourself and you cannot help them.
Yeah.
But with you having these desires, because most likely they don't even know about this work, but you do.
Right.
So you can bring all of this in, and then that gives you an opportunity to then go and help. But if you make it to where you put a belief into your mind where you're not deserving of this and you shouldn't have it because they don't have it, then you cannot help yourself and you cannot help them. You cannot change the world.
Right.
And that's what we came here to do. But it starts with self. We have to believe that we're worthy of these things. We have to, it's not only looking at the programming all day long, how you said, like, where did I get this from? How this happened? But, oh my gosh, my mind just went blank. Not only looking at the things where the reprogramming, but where if we get these things, we can help change everybody's life.
Yes.
Because we can easily get sucked into that, and then you just don't even do anything at all because you're so much in your head, like, well, that's not fair. And being rich, you know, you're going to be an asshole, and rich people are selfish. Again, another opportunity to look at these beliefs that are actually keeping us from the money coming in, because the subconscious is keeping us safe again. Oh, well, you think all rich people are assholes? Well, we don't want you to be an asshole. I'm going to keep you safe right here. That we cannot give her the money. We cannot open the doors for her because we got to keep her safe. It's just, God, if we could just go down rabbit hole.
Yeah, totally. No, but you're right. And like, so we have to remind ourselves, like, there is no limit to the resources. What's possible for me is possible for them. They just don't know the work. And the other thing we need to remember, and I need to remind myself, you need to remind you, everybody, it's not just about, like, I'm going to go meta here for a second. It's not just about this lifetime, right? Like, when you really look at what we're doing, it's a whole string of, like, lifetimes together, like your souls. If you guys have seen Soul, you know what I'm talking about, like the soul's journey, right? So it's possible in lifetimes before. I was in Nicaraguan, living in Nicaragua in a shack. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But in that lifetime, I'm not meant to have everything I'm meant to have in this lifetime, right? Because I already have, I'm telling you guys right now, if you have the means to be able to have a hot shower and leave the water running while you just stand in the water, you are already so fucking rich. It's not even funny. I'm telling you. Like, if you have hot water that comes out of your tap and you can leave it running while you lather your shampoo, you are fucking rich. Richer than the majority of the people in this world. Okay. You need to understand something. This is a huge eye opener for me. So we need to be more grateful for the abundance we already have. Like, really, really seriously, like, listen to what I'm saying. But also the friends that I made in Nicaragua this lifetime, they're living this lifetime. They have their own journeys and their own paths and their own, you know, stuff in this lifetime. And what they learn in this lifetime, they will take to the next lifetime and the next and the next. And who knows, maybe somebody I knew in this lifetime in Nicaragua, in 5 lifetimes from now, or even in the next lifetime, ends up being the fucking czar of Russia or something. I don't know. Is there still a czar? I don't even know. But my point is, don't feel bad. Like, you having less doesn't give anybody else more anyway. That doesn't work like that. So
there you go. That's what I'm looking for. That right there too. Yeah.
Okay. There you go. So we got there. So it doesn't do you or anybody any good to hold back what's meant for you. Because the thing is, like, Teresa and I have said this multiple times over these 9 episodes now, if you want something, it's literally meant for you. And not only is it meant for you, the desire is literally the compass pointing you in that direction. Like it's saying, come this way. And for Teresa and I can speak to us specifically, like the things that are calling us in that direction, like we make jokes about private jets all the time. How do you think we're going to get to those fucking private jets? By doing the work that we're doing. The universe is going to compensate us hugely. The law of compensation, the law of belief, the laws of the universe are working in our favor, and we are being given back 10 times more than we are putting out. So guess what? Yeah, at some point in the future, we are going to be on a fucking private jet drinking champagne. I don't even like champagne, but I'm going to make an exception. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have a great time. And it's our work that's going to get us there. And we're going to have the best time in the process too. That's the most fun is look how much fun we're already having. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like already there is no amount of money is going to make me happier in this moment that I am already. Like that's I think the point that Teresa and I really want to get through to everybody in every episode is like, be grateful for what you have right now, because you already have so much to be grateful for.
I don't know if it just came in my head too right now. I don't know if you remember, one of the things that she had us write down one time was, God, give me my financial wealth and abundance in exchange for sharing myself with the world. Like I forgot we even wrote that. I don't know if you even remember that. Like it just popped in my head right now. Like shit, we're speaking these things and then it comes in my head right now. And like, now we're actually living it, and it's not even just for that. When you have all of this knowledge and you're keeping it to yourself, you're not only doing yourself a disservice, not living in your power and your purpose, but you're doing the world a disservice. You weren't given all of this knowledge and information and push to keep it to yourself.
No. What good is that?
Be shared.
Yeah.
Totally.
And that's, and that's funny that you say that, because this is one of the, if everybody watching, this is one of the reasons why we decided to do this podcast at all, was actually first and foremost for our own benefit. Because why should I not share what I know with Teresa, and why should she not share what she knows with me? It's like that. I don't know if it's a proverb or whatever it is. If I have an apple and I give you an apple, now you have an apple. But if you have an idea and I have an idea and we share those ideas, now we both have two ideas, right? And it's like, what you share expands. And then to have the conversations we're already having in a public forum like this, now everybody else gets to benefit too. And we have both been doing the work to call in whoever needs what we're talking about when they need it. So maybe that's today, right now, live. Maybe that's 2 weeks from now. Maybe that's 2 years from now, right? But we know that people are going to find us and this information when they are ready to receive it and act on it and use it, because that's the intention we put out. So that's what has to come of it.
Right.
And we're going to keep doing it because we love it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see if they have any. Did you want to see if they have any questions?
I'm going to just quickly scroll through here. No questions. Lots of good feedback, though. Somebody said, just purchase The Power of the Subconscious Mind to read along with listening to my custom subliminal audio. I love it. Awesome. I love it. Somebody else said, love all the energy from us. Hoping my mind keeps absorbing all this work we keep putting in. I really love Tuesdays and listening into it.
And set that intention that your mind is absorbing everything. Yeah. It's all sinking in. As it's coming in, it's sinking in. Intention. Yeah. And it's funny. That's actually something, here's a little insider secret, you guys. That's actually something that I put into all of the subliminals I make. My free ones, my generic paid, my custom, all of them. In there are affirmations around intentions that the subliminal is working, and it starts working immediately, and people notice at lightning speed, all the things like and that's one of the reasons why they work so well, is because I'm literally putting in your mind that it's working so well. it's like anyway, it's amazing. I love it. And I love that you guys love Tuesdays. We love Tuesdays. Yes.
And it's just so good. So I am very confident today was helpful for many people. I would love to have you guys leave comments below and let us know what part fully blew your mind, what parts were helpful. If you have any questions, obviously feel free to drop them below in the comment section, and we will circle back to answer those, or perhaps even make a whole nother video depending on what the question is. We're always open to topic suggestions. Also, if there's something you would love us to rant on for an hour, please let us know. We're more than happy to do that. And obviously too, I don't know, I should ask this more often. We would love it if you guys would share these videos or tag people in the videos that need to see them too. Chances are, at least one person who would benefit from what we're talking about here. And you can help us spread all the goodness by making sure that you're getting these videos into the hands of people would benefit from them, whether it is sharing the link or tagging them in the replay or inviting them to my Facebook group or whatever. We're forever grateful. There's a podcast playlist that makes it very easy to watch all the episodes. And yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I don't know where Teresa went. I think she's maybe getting a phone call. I love you guys so much. Teresa loves you. We appreciate you hanging out with us. This has been amazing once again. And we will see you back here for episode 10. Maybe we should celebrate. I don't know. See you guys next week.